Welcome to A Conversation with Karen. Today I have volunteer extraordinaire Mia Padron, and we have a lot to talk about.
Hi, thank you so much for
Hi.
having me.
I'm so glad you're
I'm
here.
excited. I'll try.
So let's tell everybody about how we met.
Okay.
Again, volunteering. So you are the co-president of the Long Island chapter of the Hydrocephalus Association.
Well, co-chair.
Co-chair.
Of the Long Island, New York Hydrocephalus Walk.
Right. And I happened to stop there on the recommendation of a doctor, because my daughter had recently been diagnosed with hydrocephalus. And what were you doing there?
I was volunteering for the Hydrocephalus Association. I had a table and was just giving out information on what the Hydrocephalus Association is about and about what is hydrocephalus.
Right, and I stopped by because I've got to know everyone. My daughter and my husband walked toward this door. I was like, 1 second. And you told me about a walk. That was 3 weeks from that day, I think it was, 3 or 4 weeks.
I think it was close to that date because this was quite a few years ago.
Right, and that was it.
That was it. Fast friends, quick friends, forever friends.
And the
Connected.
first, and what you said to me was, if you have any questions, call me anytime.
Yes.
Welcomed me to this walk. A bit overwhelming, but there was so much information there. And you're involved with hydrocephalus because of your son.
Yes.
So tell us about Tyler.
So I have my son Tyler. He is 19 years old, and at 23 months he was diagnosed with hydrocephalus. Back up a little bit. Hydrocephalus, which is also known as water on the brain. It is a birth defect that affects 1 in about 700 babies in the world, and Tyler is one of them. It can also be caused by a traumatic brain injury, from a brain tumor. There's other causes of hydrocephalus. I became involved with the association in 2004, right after, a few months after Tyler was diagnosed in 2004. I found out about the first walk on Long Island, which myself was going, wow, someone else has hydrocephalus. So I attended this walk. It was run by another mom whose child had hydrocephalus and unfortunately lost her life to hydrocephalus. And this was her give back
Wow.
to the
See, I never knew that.
community and to the association in her daughter's memory. And at that walk, so many of us on Long Island met and became a quick family, like connected immediately. And from that moment on, I was involved with the Hydrocephalus Association and the Long Island Walk. So this year is our 16th year. I'm gonna say year 3 of the I was volunteering for the Hydrocephalus Walk with everyone after the first year, and by the 3rd year I was asked if I can take it over, and then my co-chair Jackie Davidson also came on with me, and we've been running the walk ever since.
So back up a little
Yes.
bit. Tyler was born, and at 23 months,
He was diagnosed with hydrocephalus.
so you had to have seen signs that brought you to the
Yes,
doctor.
it was a tough, when he was born, I knew something was wrong, you know, mother's intuition, you just know. I knew nothing, I just knew he had a large head, I knew he was not hitting milestones, and every time I would bring it up to the doctors, they said he was in the 90th percentile of height and weight, so he's fine. I have 2 older daughters, Nicole and Danielle, and every time I went to the doctors and told them he wasn't hitting milestones, I was told I'm comparing him to my girls. He's a boy and he develops slower. This went on for 23 months.
So you knew the entire
I
time.
knew something was wrong the whole time. His fontanelle also did not close. And I knew with my girls, by 10 months, their fontanelles closed. His fontanelle was 3 fingers wide, even at 23 months. And
See, I wouldn't even know what that was, you're telling me a word and I'm like, that's the soft spot
That's
in
the
the
soft
head.
spot.
Okay, that's how I know it, as the soft spot in the
But
head.
I remember at 23 months going, okay, the fontanelle has not closed. He is not hitting milestones. We need to do something. So they sent him for an MRI to shut me up, to prove to me that he would be fine. He was fine.
Wow.
That was the day that
You shut them up.
Yes, January 2004. Yep, I'll never forget that day. 5 hours later, I was called. Your son has a condition called hydrocephalus, which I just sat there and said, hydro what?
That's what I did.
You know, he just wrote this word down.
I was spelling it. They gave me a book.
I just sat there and went, what is this? What's going on? And they just said, you need to see a neurosurgeon immediately. Because Tyler had a black brain. It was full of fluid because obviously this has been going on the whole time.
And that's why he wasn't able to
Meet his milestones.
Right.
Right, or speak. He was learning sign language at that point also.
Wow.
Yes.
So moms, no, you're right. Your fears, your concerns, do not let anyone tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. Tell them to do the test to shut you up. I'd rather that you be wrong and proven wrong than.
Always go with your gut, never ever second guess.
No. I thought I was going crazy because we went for 6 months and we had actually been to the hospital a month before Lexi was diagnosed with a brain tumor, only to find out that they were telling us that it was low salt.
No salt.
Low salt. They gave her fluids and sent her home. But that's another story for another day. So, you could have sat there and said, what am I going to do? But instead you learned everything
I could about hydrocephalus, and you learn it till it's, as my sister would say, until it comes out of your pores. You just learn it all. You know it all. You have to, because you're your child's advocate. So you have to know as much as you can.
Now, you don't just run the walk and co-chair the Long Island Walk. You also travel and
I
help.
volunteer with the Hydrocephalus Association. I am a walk chair mentor. I work with the association and help mentor new walk chairs coming on across the country, and work with them developing, just the plans and things going forward with the walks. But I mean, I love being part of the community and working, with the other walk chairs and just developing just the amazing walk that we run.
And your son is still having challenges, because there's different types of hydro.
Yes.
So the type that Tyler has is different than the type that Lexi has.
Yes, Tyler, he was born. Lexi, it was caused by a brain tumor.
So one is communicating.
Right, Tyler is communicating.
So it's just like his brain doesn't know to absorb the fluid.
Right, the ventricles, he communicates, the ventricles communicate. He doesn't have an obstruction, because an obstruction would cause it to not.
Right.
So, he has a very complicated case of hydrocephalus.
Right. I mean, there's all different
There's
levels
some
is what I'm
people
trying.
with one shunt and never needing another surgery.
So what is the shunt?
So a shunt is a mechanical device that is implanted in the ventricle. It's in your head, and the tubing comes down from the shunt, down behind the ear, down, and 95% of the time it drains to the belly, but it can drain to other parts of the body if needed, which is the heart and the lungs, or other areas it can drain.
Anytime I have a question, it's, I wanted to ask about my daughter getting earphones. Asked her. She knew.
Yeah, you gotta be careful if it's a programmable shunt. You gotta be careful with the magnetic fields in the headphones and your iPhones and iPads, because if it's not a magnetic safe programmable shunt, there are chances it can change the setting.
Right.
And that's happened to Tyler when he was younger.
So he doesn't have a programmable
He
anymore.
does have a
Oh,
programmable,
he does.
but he has a magnetically safe programmable shunt. So
Okay.
he can have an MRI 3 Tesla, is fine. He can have the phones, he can have anything.
Okay.
The headphones doesn't affect him. But if you have a shunt that's not magnetically safe, it can change the setting.
Yes, we have had that happen on this side. So Tyler has had, now the shunts are great. They help. You have a complex case like Tyler's. It is not a cure. It's
treatment.
temporary.
It's just
It's
treatment.
treatment. And the big thing is that the shunts don't always work and they can fail. And what happens if they fail? It's
another trip to the hospital. It's
a
one
brain
of those,
surgery.
It's a brain surgery. Tyler has had 48 surgeries to date. And we're praying, you know. for no
And he
more,
gets, I mean, there's no other word to use, I think, but when I think of him, cause he's like my, I think of him as the closest thing to the bionic man that I can, because I'm like, they go in and they tweak him. So you're often in there, you could be in the, running into New Hyde Park 3 times a
Oh,
week.
that's like autopilot. The car's just autopiloted to New Hyde Park. It doesn't even faze me, that trip.
Right, but you have a job, there was a time when you had 2 or 3 jobs, right? And fortunately, these people are very accommodating
Yes.
to your situation.
I'm very lucky.
Yes, so right now you're down to 1 job,
Yes.
okay. And on your downtime, I remember when the government shutdown happened, and you had just finished running the walk for the year.
Yes.
And what did you do then, Mia Padron? What did you do?
I ran a food drive
Yes.
for those that were now in desperate need. And I saw that Long Island Cares and just they were in desperate need of food for the influx of families that were now showing up that they now have to help take care of. So, with the help of the community, it wasn't just me.
Okay, but you ran it.
I ran it, yes.
Okay, and you also offered to pick it up if people couldn't drop it off.
Yes.
In between running your son to the hospital, going through everything with that was on your plate with that, helping other people with
I
the.
believe that when I did that food drive, I think it was over 900 pounds of food that was donated, because they weigh it when you
Okay,
bring it
and
in.
then this past year, you ran another
A
food drive.
Yes, I did, we donated, I believe, this year to the Lighthouse Mission. We
And
did.
how many pounds did you donate?
I'm not really sure, they don't
How
weigh
many
it
bags?
there. A lot of bags. I
Lot
think we
of
did it,
bags.
I like to do it around the holidays and then post-holidays. I mean, it's, I feel good giving back because so many do for us and my family throughout the year. The fundraising I do for Tyler's Warriors, for the HA, everyone is just so generous with us. So my give back, I feel, is to just help others in the community in what's needed.
So you have Tyler's Warriors.
Yes.
So we're gonna kick back to that for a second. So Tyler's Warriors is your team
Yes.
for the walk.
Yes, it is.
And this past year, we didn't have the walk,
No.
but you had your own walk.
Yes. I did my own, 'cause we went virtual circumstances, we couldn't have it in the park. So what I did was I brought our team to us. And we all had t-shirts, we walked the neighborhood, came back, at my house, we did a socially distancing, barbecue in the backyard, and it was just really great with some close family and friends that are just always part of Tyler's Warriors, always donate, come to the walk, always looking what they can do. So it felt good giving to them and having a celebration in our yard
Yes.
for them.
So my saying, when you do good things, you meet good people. When you meet good people, you can do more good things.
I like that.
So that came into play when I met Corrine. So I had met Corrine, and I always felt so bad for Tyler when I met you. When I heard about how many surgeries he had gone through, that he is in constant pain.
Yes.
And has to learn to live like that, because there is no cure for this condition. And so I met Corrine at a volunteering function.
And you say?
Yes. And she was saying she could get somebody to donate a service for the Athletic Booster Club.
Yes.
And I turned to her and I said, oh, do you think that person would be able to donate their services for our hydrocephalus walk? And she said, who do you know with hydrocephalus? And I told her my daughter, and she asked if she had a wish. I said, my daughter doesn't qualify, but I know someone who does. And I just gave all your information. I felt so bad, because I was like, what if they don't want it? And I'm like, just go, here, call her, put him in this. He was just.
And it's because of you that Tyler became a wish kid.
And so that's what I mean, it wasn't because, it was circumstances, but it was, you know what, if it helped pay back what you've done for my family in the slightest bit. But I remember, so I want to touch on Make-A-Wish, and Tyler was in the hospital during a blizzard,
Yes.
and he was really,
He was in a bad way, because the shunt was, we were waiting for a new shunt to be delivered, but everything was delayed because of a blizzard that we were stuck in the hospital with.
and he just felt miserable.
Yes.
And needed a boost, and the phone rang.
Yeah, my phone rang, and I remember it was Make-A-Wish, and they were just like, is Tyler with you? And I'm like, yes, we happen to be in the hospital. I put it on speaker. That was the most amazing night, to hear them tell Tyler that his wish is going to be granted.
They have this habit of just hitting you at the right day and the right time.
And it wasn't planned. They had no clue. They just called me. It was like 6 o'clock or 6:30 at night. And
It's unbelievable. So,
timing was the best.
and when your daughters were little, that the ironic thing was, after you and I were talking, you told me that when your daughters were younger, or was Tyler born as well, that you used to do some volunteering for Make-A-Wish.
Oh, with my daughters, yes, Tyler was born, but this was something I did with the girls.
Okay.
With Nicole and Danielle. We used to volunteer yearly at Make-A-Wish with the Christmas parties. I have so many fabulous pictures with Nicole and Danielle volunteering. Then also my nieces were a part of it one year. My girlfriend's children were involved. Tyler did it 1 year.
Okay.
1 year he dressed in a costume, but they dressed in costumes and were part of the holiday party every year, which was just amazing. My girls so loved, looked forward to it. They really loved.
Because when you
doing
see
this
children
party.
that appreciate it so much, they're so excited. It's a great party, and
Yep.
it's really sad that they weren't able to do it this year. They're working virtually, and I did my other segment about how the kids are adjusting to
Yes.
it. Now their wishes are changing, and although there's many, many wishes still to be granted, some of the kids have opted to do a computer, and they do the whole shebang.
Right.
They don't do anything halfway.
It's not little, no,
No,
they do big.
it's amazing.
And that
It's
party was,
amazing.
what they would do at the party.
Oh
For
my
these
gosh.
kids, amazing, and I volunteered in the back also with, the costumes, cause my girlfriend was, I had a girlfriend that ran the area, so I used to help with getting everyone their costumes, filling the candy bags and.
That's what I did, yeah.
And when
yeah.
it was just,
Yeah.
Make-A-Wish is
Making sure-
just an
I was in
amazing
charge of
organization.
opening the doors for the dancers at the gala one year, and I really missed the gala.
The
That's
gala's
amazing.
amazing also.
So they do a lot of good things. So things have been busy for you this year. Tyler graduated last year.
Last year, yes.
Kind of a bummer.
It was, finishing senior year during COVID was not fun, and graduation was put off till August, and
But they did have a ceremony.
they did, it was the parents and the student, you sat in your little cube, it was just the two parents and the student, masked, and I don't know if they did 8 or 10 ceremonies to get the whole graduating
Right.
class.
So as much as like everyone, and I know I'm gonna get some pushback on this, but as much as people say that they didn't get what everybody wanted, you have to say it is going to be more memorable than any other graduation.
Yes, you have to say that.
It's not like everybody's all done that, been there, done that. No, the last year.
They
and
did a very
probably
good
this-
job making it happen to give them something.
Right.
There was closure, there was a graduation, it was not the ceremony. We wanted our daughters there, we wanted our family
Of
there, but
course.
unfortunately.
No Zoom.
Hmm?
Couldn't Zoom people
No,
in
they
there.
did have the links,
Okay.
so you were able to watch
Right.
the ceremony.
Yeah, it's hard, but at least they were able to have some type of
Yes.
celebration. Because there was talk that there was gonna be no
Nothing.
celebration. And that really hurt, and this whole half on
This is another crazy year for the, at least they're finally going back to the classroom.
Right. So it's been a crazy year. How have you been doing with COVID?
Thankfully good,
How many phone calls did you make? How many phone calls did you make about letting people know, your friends and family know about the vaccine opening up and being able to get it?
When I was able to kind of, when I got comfortable with the links, anyone that I knew was looking.
You don't want to give an exact number, but this is
Just
your
a few, just a few.
your downtime,
Yeah.
and you don't get much of it.
Yeah, but I knew you were looking, and when I went on, I said, "Oh wait, I got a date. Do you want it?"
So my sister and I got our COVID shots today, and you got yours.
Yes.
And did you get your second one yet?
No, I'm due April 5th.
So you got the
Pfizer.
You did get the okay.
You got Pfizer.
I
too.
got Pfizer. So anything else new coming up that we should know about?
We're hoping to have an in-person walk this year,
Okay.
October 16th.
Okay.
Saturday.
October 16th.
Keep it open.
October 16th. Whoever wants to meet us there, it's quick. It's like 3 or 4 hours.
Right, it's at Belmont Lake State Park, Saturday, October 16th.
And we're in and out of there.
Yeah, we do
We
the walk,
do-
we have
The raffles are
arts and
phenomenal.
crafts, we have information, this year will be pretty much just grab and go food, not
It's gonna change.
what's
I
things
think
are
our
gonna
lives
change,
are-
but it's it's getting the community together. It's about getting the hydrocephalus community together, and it's the day of celebrating them and everyone being in
lot
a
of
place
information.
together that you are with others with the same condition as you. You are not singled out for anything. You're part of your community.
And it's really nice for family members and friends who don't know about it.
You learn a
Don't-
lot.
Right. The last year that it was live, my daughter's college, the
Yes.
track kids came, and they all were learning CPR,
Yes,
Um,
we have CPR, yep.
and a lot of them came back and said Well, we went to the tables because we wanted to know what it was. So it's nice to spread the word, to teach people about
Right, we
things
had
that-
our surgeon was there, Dr. Schneider, he was
gosh.
part of a table for Ask the Surgeon, which really gave everyone an opportunity to just talk to him as an average person, question him and not in a hospital, not in the office,
Right.
seeing him just being,
T-shirt and
Yeah.
jeans.
yes, yep, and
That's
so we
really
had
nice.
other surgeons there and the information table and we have a huge raffle table and tables.
So October 16th, 2021 at Belmont Lake State Park. I think we start at 9 and
We're gonna
end-
do registration at 9, the walk will kick off at 10. We're usually done about 12:45, 1 o'clock, because we
Right.
do the raffles at about noon. It's an amazing day, and if we can be in person this year, please join us. You will enjoy
We'll
it.
post this part closer to the date
Yes, and the link.
and the link. So you don't have to go as part of a team. We're Team Lexi, Tyler's
Tyler's
Warriors. And we hope that you will come join us on October 16th. It has been so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate you coming down. I feel like going to Carvel now and getting an ice cream.
Let's go.
Let's go. See you soon.
Bye. Thank you.